Hey all, Hipper here. So there's finally an interesting ship in the game, and this update here, it is the legendary Japanese cruiser, the Yoshino. So I'm running an agile build on it here just to test it out. It does have a very long turning radius, but we won't talk about that right now. I'm running Mukawa, and I don't run full rudder on this particular battle here. And notice that I have the turret rotation in the first slot because on an agile cruiser you need fast turrets, and this thing here has really slow turrets. Even with total boost, they're still slow. 20-kilometer torpedoes, awesome. You're going to be using these a lot, so make sure you upgrade them from the standard 12 kilometers. Sonar, catapult fighter, and also option of a spotter. Repair party, and you see torpedoes. 20-kilometer range and almost 21,000 damage. So yeah, it's not something you want to get hit by. 3.5 rudder, 40 knots, and 920 meter turning circle. The dictatability is actually quite good for a stock ship here at 11.7. It's not bad at all. And look at that bow there, 25 millimeter. That's a little bit disappointing. It really is, I must say. This is a legendary cruiser. And I don't know. That just seems a little bit strange to me. So if we put a full rudder build on the ship here with Soundwave instead of Müller, then we get the rudder down to 3.1 seconds. And then let's say 39 knots instead of 40 knots. So this is probably, if you're going to go with an agile build, this is probably the best build. But for this battle here, I actually used the other build where I had 3.5 second rudder and just over 40 knots. So while I am recording this video here, the update has been out for less than just about an hour now. And I've played 2 battles in Yoshino, and this is my first battle. So I decided I'll put that up. So like I said in the beginning, you have to make use of those torpedoes. The range is 20 kilometers. So, I mean, if you don't use them all the time, you are missing out big, because that's where the majority of your damage is going to come from. It's those heavy hitting, very long range torpedoes here. And that's what makes Yoshino interesting. I mean, finally there's a cruiser that offers something different. Like I was worried this ship would arrive in Legends with, let's say, 10 or 12 kilometer torpedoes. Still good, but not the same options as you have with 20 kilometer torpedoes. And I'm thinking of actually like extending the range with a different build. Because obviously this is quite a big ship, and at almost a kilometer turning radius, as you can see here, it takes a while for this thing here to turn. But then on the other hand, you don't want to go bow on in this thing here either, because pretty much everything will just citadel you right through the nose. So you will have to angle the ship pretty much like what I'm doing right here. So you take the heavy hitters on the midsection where the armor is thicker, and try to angle and juke and do whatever you have to do to keep those shells out of your bow and stern, where they can just go straight through into the citadel, and that hurts. I think I tried it in my second battle actually, where someone citadeled me through the nose, and yeah, it apparently is not very difficult. So Yoshino is pretty much a massive Atago. Like as you see it turning here, it is almost defying logic, and that's where you get your damage with the torpedoes. The guns are really secondary on this ship here, and that's also why I recommend you pick the 20 kilometer torpedoes, because you have to upgrade the torpedoes. They're 12 kilometer standard, but you're not giving up a lot for extra 8 kilometer range, which just gives so many more new options really. Because if I had 12 kilometers, this Kurfürst would be out of reach of my torpedoes right now. But because I have 20 range, he's well within range, and I can stay at a safer distance. I'm still playing this ship as an agile cruiser because it does work. You just have to stay further away than an Atago. Atago can do it at around 12 to 14, but Yoshino you have to be around 15 away. Simply because the turning radius is so large that it just takes a while to turn this ship here. One thing I have noticed, but I've only played 2 battles in the ship, like I said, I don't seem to get a lot of fires in it. I don't remember what the fire chance is. I believe it's 27%. But I'm not really that impressed with that, I must say. And again, so far, and again, I've only played 2 battles, so far the Torpedoes are very obviously what this ship is meant to make primary use of. If you play Atago, then you might know that Atago's torpedo potential is about 50%. So 50% of the damage, there's another torpedo hit there, about 50% of the damage you do in an Atago will or should come from your torpedoes, not from your guns. With Yoshino, I'd say that percentage is even higher. I'd put it at 60 or 70. The torpedoes are your bread and butter here. And that's why I think I'm going to try still having an agile build on Yoshino, but I'm trying to somehow extend the range of the torpedoes. I think I'll see how it works. I'll do some videos on it. But like I said in the beginning, it's nice to finally have a ship that's different, that does something different, you know. This ship is introducing pretty much a new playstyle. We don't really have any other cruisers in the game with 20-kilometer torpedoes. I don't even think we have anything getting close to it, really. I think 12 or something like that is maximum at the moment. So this is something brand new and something exciting and, you know, something interesting. So I see how I'm using the rudder here to angle my armor in such a way that this Kurfürst tier won't be able to get me. I don't know how else you're supposed to play this ship here, really. I mean, I haven't played any other builds, but from what I can tell, and I mean, I have played a lot of cruisers. I wouldn't want to play this ship here as a brick, where it's just sitting somewhere, because one, you have a 25mm bow. If you're sitting in a spot and shooting at enemies, all they have to do is shoot back, and you are in a world of pain. And if you notice in the beginning of this battle here, I also used the very fast rudder here to get off a torpedo bank from my left side, although I was actually turning to the left, but I had enough agility to get off that torpedo bank first, and then as well as the 2 torpedo banks on my right side. So it does give you more options, especially when it comes to torpedoes. And like I said, I also have the turret rotation on the ship here, because even with a full ingenious build here with turret rotation and everything, it still takes 26 seconds, and that's too slow. It should be 23 seconds for an agile cruiser, but unfortunately, you just cannot make it work on Yoshino, so you just have to make do. And it's okay, as long as you just keep it in mind. So, armor, it's okay, but you really have to keep a constant look at the enemies here, because like, it is a squishy ship. It might not look it, but it really is. And of course, this is like, everybody's very interested in the ship here, so everybody's shooting at me. And we're also doing like a terrible this match here. We're down, what, 5 ships already. So I'm just gonna go, okay, I'm just gonna farm some damage and give up on the caps, and then we'll see how much we can get out of it here. But I only had time to do 2 battles today, and this is what you're gonna get. It does look a little bit, you know, like throwing physics out the window here. This enormous ship just turning very, very, very quickly. It almost looks fake. And this is not even a full rudder build. Like I said, I can actually shave another half a second off the rudder, which I think I will do for my next few battles the coming days. And of course, I'll do a video on that and tell you which one I prefer. Another build that could possibly work out would be a pure concealment build. Get it down to, you can probably get it down to around 9 kilometers, really, something like that, perhaps even lower. And then with 20-kilometer torpedoes, I think that would be a very viable build as well. And yeah, a very nice torpedo there. And like I said, the torpedoes are your bread and butter. Just fire them, and you know, if this Musashi here wasn't so clever, like he knew what I was up to, I would have gotten a very nice hit on him as well, and we probably would have reached 200k here, but he was too smart for that. And in a minute, my battleships are gonna go down, and then obviously it's just a matter of time, because there's still no less than 3 battleships on the enemy team, and we haven't managed to take a single cap, and everybody on the flanks have just disappeared. So yeah, it's certainly update day today. It's very evident. So we're gonna give this game here a rest, perhaps also the ship for a while. But overall, I am quite positive with this ship here. It's certainly like a positive addition to the game. It's something different at Legendary tier, and it has humongous guns. I believe they're 330 mils, so they're almost battleship caliber. And as you can see, the ship also kind of moves like a little bit a battleship. I mean, it has much faster rudder than you can get on any battleship at 3 seconds, 3.1 second. So it's about the same as you can probably get Alaska down to. But Alaska doesn't have torpedoes and doesn't really need an agile build. While on the other hand, you can actually, you can do stuff with an agile build on this ship here. It's an interesting ship, and I look forward to, trying it out a little bit more, trying some different builds, like a full concealment build for one. Like obviously a full rudder build. I haven't done that yet. I almost have, and perhaps also, like I said earlier, a full torpedo build. You never know. It could be good. Would be nice to get, the torpedo range up to, 22 kilometers, 23, maybe even, possibly even more than that. I don't know how high you can get it actually. And that would be interesting. So I'm facing this Kronstadt here at 21,000 hit points, and everybody on the map is obviously going to be shooting at me because I'm the last ship left. And yeah, I'm just not gonna make it much longer here, but at least I gave you a bit of a look at Yoshino here. And I think I should have gotten the fire there on the Kronstadt, but nope. And I do believe the torpedoes are a little bit slow actually, but that is one of the things you give up to get the 20 kilometer range, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyway, that was the inevitable end there. I mean, 4 versus 1. And yeah, my team putting up a, some sort of effort. Anyway, that was Yoshino, and I'll do more videos on it in the coming days. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.